Number 303 Polish Fighter Squadron was one of 16 Polish squadrons in the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. It was the highest scoring of the Hurricane squadrons during the Battle of Britain. The squadron was named after the Polish and United States hero General Tadeusz Kościuszko, and the eponymous Polish 7th Air Escadrille founded by Merian C. Cooper, that served Poland in the 1919–1921 Polish-Soviet War. No.303 was formed in July 1940 in Blackpool, England before deployment to RAF Northolt on 2 August as part of an agreement between the Polish government in exile and the United Kingdom. It had a distinguished combat record and was disbanded in December 1946. History. Number 303 Squadron was from 2 August 1940 based at RAF Northolt, and became operational on 31 August. Its initial cadre was 13 officer and 8 NCO pilots and 135 Polish ground staff. At the outset, serving RAF officers were appointed to serve as CO and flight commanders alongside the Poles. As the Polish pilots were unfamiliar with RAF fight command language, procedures and training, the name chosen by the squadron was in honor of the famous Polish Kościuszko squadron which fought during the Polish-Soviet War in 1920. No.303 Squadron was also linked to the original Kościuszko Escadrille through personnel that had served in the squadron. Later, further Air Force units from the aforementioned unit were renamed the 7th, 121st and 111th Escadrilles of the Polish Air Force. The Battle of Britain, August–October 1940. During the Battle of Britain, No.303 Squadron was equipped with Hawker Hurricane fighter aircraft, manned by experienced veterans, equipped with a fighter on a technical par with most of its opponents, and expertly backed by the well-established RAF command, communication and logistics infrastructure. The squadron was able to become an effective fighting force during the battle. After a period of training, on 24 August 1940, the squadron was scrambled for the first time, although it did not come into contact with any enemy aircraft. On 30 August 1940, the squadron scored its first victory while still officially non-operational, when a German Messerschmitt Bf 110 F4 ZG-76 was shot down by F.O. Ludwik Paskovich during a training flight. The wreck was excavated in 1982. After S. L. Kellett's personal recommendation, the squadron was declared operational next day by No.11 Group RAF. On 31 August 1940, the squadron was scrambled in the late afternoon on its first operational sortie. In a dogfight over Kent, Air Flight claimed 4 confirmed and 2 probable victories over Messerschmitt Bf 109s, possibly of LG2. Claimants were S. L. Kellett, F. O. Henneberg, P. O. Ferrick and Sergeant Karuban. During the 2nd of September 1940, the squadron was scrambled 3 times. On the last scramble, P. O. Ferrick shot down a Bf 109 and then made a forced landing near Dover while former Czechoslovak Air Force pilot Sergeant Joseph František claimed a Bf 110. The following day over Dover, František claimed his second victory. With a total of 17 victories, he was the top-scoring Allied fighter pilot during the Battle of Britain. On 5 September, 303 Hurricanes intercepted a German bombing formation escorted by Bf 109s, with the Poles claiming 5 Bf 109s and 3 Junkers Ju-88s for 1 lost. P.O. Lapkowski bailing out wounded. On 6 September 1940, 9 Hurricanes were scrambled towards incoming bomber formations. However, during the climb, they were bounced by Bf-109s of 3 JG-27, SL Gillett and FL Forbes both force-landed, and were wounded slightly, while Sergeant Karubin bailed out wounded. SL Krasnodubski was severely burned and 3 other Hurricanes were damaged. The squadron claimed 5 Bf-109s, a DA-17 and a Heinkel He-111. F.O. Witold Urbanovich was appointed as acting squadron leader. On 7 September 1940, the German air offensive switched to the London docks. No.303 Squadron was successfully vectored towards the incoming bomber streams and claimed 12 DA-17s and 2 Bf-109s, with P.O. Zumbach, P.O. Ferrick, Sergeant Saposnikov and Sergeant Wojtowicz all scoring double victories. P.O. Dazewski was shot down and seriously wounded, while F.O. Pisarek bailed out. His Hurricane crashed in a back garden of a house in Loudoun, killing a family of 3 in the shelter. 2 other aircraft were damaged. On 9 September 1940, 12 Hurricanes were scrambled and 2 claims made over Bf-109s by Zumbach and 1 by František, a Bf-109 of 7 JG-27, who also claimed a He-111 of KG-53 as improbable, while a Bf-110 was shot down by F.L. Kent. Sergeant Wunscher had to bail out with burns over Beachy Head, and Sergeant František crash-landed. At 1600 hours on the 11th of September 1940, the squadron attacked a bomber formation south of London. F.O.C. Brinsky was fatally wounded by return fire, while Sergeant Wojtowicz shot down 2 Messerschmitt Bf-110s before being shot down and killed. The pilots claimed 2 Bf-110s, 1 Bf-109, 3 DA-17s and 4 He-111s. In the massed dogfights over London on 15 September 1940, the squadron was heavily involved, with 9 Hurricanes led by F.L. Kent intercepting a German raid in mid-morning. 9 kills were claimed, 6 Bf-109s, 1 Bf-110 and 2 DA-17s. In the afternoon, a flight formation led by S.L. Gillett claimed 4 victories, while the 5-strong B flight led by F.O. Urbanovich claimed 2 DA-17s, for 2 Polish pilots shot down. During the day, No.303 Squadron claimed 15 victories. On the afternoon of 26 September 1940, No.303 Squadron was scrambled towards a large enemy raid over Hampshire, with the Poles claiming 13 victories for 3 Hurricanes damaged. There was further intense fighting on 27 September 1940, with 11 Hurricanes engaged by massed escorts to a KG-77-30 bomber formation. The squadron claimed 15 victories, 6 Bf-109s, 2 Bf-110s of LG-1, 4 He-111s and 3 Ju-88s, although F.O. Paskovich and Sergeant Andruska were killed. F.O. Zak was wounded and bailed out over Horsham, and 4 Hurricanes were lost in total. Just 6 aircraft were serviceable during the afternoon, engaging a raid of 15 Ju-88s. 2 bombers were brought down before the escort intervened, and a Bf-109 was also claimed. F.O. Urbanovich claimed 4 German aircraft during the day. On 30 September 1940, F.O. Urbanovich once again claimed 4 victories. Additionally, a DA-17 was brought down by P.O. Radomski, who bailed out, as did Sergeant Belc, while Sergeant Karubin claimed a Bf-109. On 5 October 1940, Polish pilots claimed 5 Bf-110s and 4 Bf-109s, though P.O. Januszewicz was killed. A fight over the Thames estuary on 7 October saw claims for 3 Bf-109s of LG-2. On the 11th of October 1940, the squadron was transferred for arrest to Leconfield in No.12 Group, ending its participation in the Battle of Britain. No.303 Squadron claimed the largest number of aircraft destroyed of the 66 Allied fighter squadrons engaged in the Battle of Britain, even though it joined the fray 2 months after the battle had begun. Its success in combat can be mainly attributed to the years of extensive and rigorous pre-war training many of the long-serving Polish veterans had received in the homeland, far more than many of the younger and inexperienced RAF comrades then being thrown into the battle. Tactics and skill also played a role. On one occasion, No.303 Sergeant Stanislaw Karubin resorted to extreme tactics to bring down a German fighter. Following a prolonged air battle, Karubin was chasing a German fighter at treetop level. As he closed in on the tail of the German fighter, Karubin realized that his Hurricane had run out of ammunition. Rather than turning back to base, he closed the distance and climbed right above the German fighter. The German pilot was so shocked to see the underside of the Hurricane within arm's reach of his cockpit that he instinctively reduced his altitude to avoid a collision and crashed into the ground. Withdrawn from battle for arrest on the 11th of October 1940, the squadron had claimed 126 kills in 6 weeks. Relative to aircraft downed, losses were small, with 18 Hurricanes lost, 7 pilots killed and 5 badly wounded. Although the number of Battle of Britain claims was overestimated, No.303 Squadron was one of the top fighter units in the battle and the best Hurricane-equipped one. According to historian John Alcorn, 44 victories are positively verified, making No.303 Squadron the 4th highest-scoring squadron of the battle, after Squadron No's 603 Oksaf, 609 Oksaf and 41, which all flew Spitfires. It was also had the highest kill-to-loss ratio of 2.81. However, J. Alcorn was not able to attribute 30 aircraft shot down to any particular unit, and according to Jerzy Sink and other Polish historians, the actual number of victories for No.303 Squadron was about 55 to 60. According to Polish historian Jacek Kutzner, the verified number of kills of 303 Squadron is around 58.8, which would still place it above all other squadrons regarding verified kills. This is presented by Kutzner's chart, which shows Polish confirmed kills of all Allied squadrons, including Polish and real German losses on each day when No.303 Squadron was involved in air combats. In its first 7 days of combat, the squadron claimed nearly 40 enemy aircraft. By 1941, the immediate threat to the UK was over and RAF Fighter Command formulated more offensive fighter operations over occupied Europe. One of these was codenamed Rhubarb, improvised low-level strafing attacks against opportunist targets on the ground. No.303 flew its first Rhubarb sorties on the 22nd of January 1941. 6 Hurricanes led by F.L. Henneberg attacked 1 JG-26's airfield at Crécy, killing 1 ground crewman and destroying 2 Bf-109s, also wounding a pilot. In late January 1941, the squadron converted to the Supermarine Spitfire Mki. In February, the unit participated in the first fighter offensive sweeps, usually escorting a small number of light bombers. In early April 1941, No.306 Squadron arrived at North Earl, and with No. 303 formed No. 1 Polish Fighter Wing, No. 601 Squadron, also stationed at North-Olt, complemented the two Polish units. The wing was commanded by Wiz C. Johnny Kent with C. Urbanovich. On 12 April 1941, 6 No. 303 Spitfires led by S. L. Henneberg carried out a series of strafing attacks on German airfields. S. L. Henneberg's Spitfire IA was hit by flak and the pilot had to ditch in the channel, despite an intensive search-rescue operation. He was never found. On 16 April 1941, the Polish wing flew its first circus escort operation. Engaged by Bf-109s, two Poles were lost, P.O. Łazkowicz and P.O. Mierzwa. On 18 June 1941, No. 303 pilots claimed 4 Bf-109s without loss, 2 to P.O. Drobinski, as RAF Fight Command claimed 10 destroyed. On 21 June, Drobinski badly damaged the Bf-109F2 of Oberst Adolf Galland, CO of JG-26, who made a forced landing at Calais, while with C. Kent downed F.W. Hagenar of Stab. JG-26. On the 22nd of June 1941, Fighter Command optimistically claimed 29 fighters shot down, No. 303 claiming 6 of these, 2 to S. L. Lapkowski. On the 23rd of June 1941, No. 303 flew 2 full-strength escort-in missions over France, and against 9 JG-2 claimed 5 fighters destroyed. P.O. Mike Bolslaw-Gladage claimed 3 confirmed but was wounded and managed to crash-land in the UK. JG-2 lost 6 Bf-109s and 4 pilots. On 28 June, No. 303 claimed another 4 Bf-109s, although P.O.J. Bonda was shot down and killed by UZZ. Babens, 3, JG-26. Fighter Command claimed 6 kills. On 2 July 1941, No. 1 Polish Wing, with No. 303, engaged some 60 Bf-109s over Lille. Although No. 303 claimed 4 kills, the squadron lost S. L. Lapkowski killed, while Sergeant Gorecki had to bail out and was rescued from the channel. Command passed to S. L. Arontovich, who himself was shot down and killed just 6 days later. He was replaced by F. L. Jankovic. After 5 months of operations, No. 303 was rested on 13 July, moving to Speke near Liverpool, in 9 Group Fighter Command. On 7 October 1941, the squadron returned to North-Olt and re-equipped with the Spitfire MKVB. Its opponents now included the formidable Focke-Wulf FW-190, and on 13 October camera gun film from a No. 303 pilot gave the RAF the first photographic evidence of the new fighter. As winter approached, poor weather reduced operations significantly. However, on 24 October, No. 303 claimed 4 fighters downed over Gravelines. During combat operations throughout 1941, No. 303 Squadron claimed some 46 enemy aircraft destroyed, 7 probably destroyed and 4 damaged, for a loss of 9 pilots. Some 20 Spitfires were written off or lost in action. After a quiet start to the year, on 12 February 1942, No. 303 Squadron participated in the RAF's offensive response to the Channel dash of the German battleships Scharnhorst and Gneisenau. Led by Wiz C. Rolski, the Polish wing flew several sorties in bad weather. On 13 March 1942, the squadron lost FLTW Lokusiev Tadeusz shot down by JG-26 and taken prisoner, and on 4 April FL Dazewski and FL Kostrensky were lost over St. Omer. During the spring of 1942, the frequency of offensive sorties increased, and by May No.303 flew over the Channel daily in numerous circus, escort-in missions and fighter sweeps. It engaged German fighters on numerous occasions, although JG-2 and JG-26, the main fighter units against Fighter Command, took an increasing toll utilizing the superior FW-190A. In early June, the unit flew 16 squadron-strength sorties, in addition to numerous air-sea rescue, interception and convoy escort-in missions. On 5 June 1942, the squadron engaged FW-190 fighters and claimed 3 for no loss. The squadron was rested on 15 June, relocating to Curtain in Lindsey in Lincolnshire. On 15 August 1942, the squadron temporarily moved to Redhill near London in preparation of the Allied raid on Jet. No. 303 was to fly with No.317 Polish Squadron and 4 other squadrons, covering the naval and ground forces. No.303 Squadron claimed the highest number of aircraft shot down of all Allied squadrons participating. No. 303 then returned to Curtain in Lindsey, where it remained until March 1943. No. 303 Squadron claimed 21 enemy aircraft destroyed in 1942, losing 10 pilots, 4 killed in action, 2 in accidents and 4 taken prisoner. In early June 1943, the unit returned once again to North Earl and No.1 Polish Wing. The squadron converted to the new Spitfire MKIX and in June resumed operations. On 9 June 1943, F.O. Slawinski claimed the unit's 200th victory, AFW 190. On 14 June 1943, Sergeant Pilot J. Dabrowski was killed in a flying accident when on interception practice, his aircraft crashing into the ground at Islington Cemetery, Finchley. On 24 June, both P.O. Karkmaz and P.O. Kobylinski were downed by 10 JG-26 pilots and made powers. In July 1943, S.L. Falkowski replaced S.L. Biankowski. On 6 July, the squadron, led by F.L. Majewski and with No.316 Squadron over Amiens, fought a prolonged dogfight with FW-190s, with No.303 claiming 3 German fighters from JG-2 and JG-27 without loss. By this time, much of No.303's work was escort-in missions for the increasing numbers of United States Army Air Force's Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress and Consolidated B-24 Liberator heavy bomber missions over Europe. During escort cover for the ill-fated Schweinfurt mission on 17 August 1943, No.303 claimed a further 3 fighters downed. On 6 September, Ramrod mission, the squadron claimed another 6 fighters destroyed. On 12 November 1943, the unit was posted to RAF Ballyhalbert in Northern Ireland, and soon after S.L. Koch assumed command. The squadron flew convoy patrols and carried out operational training. By the end of 1943, No.303 Squadron had claimed 203 enemy aircraft destroyed, 40 probables, and 25 damaged. In April 1944, the squadron moved to the Advanced Landing Ground at Horn, 30 miles south of London, and joined No. 142 Fighter Wing. The unit began flying escort sorties for bombing missions against V V-1 flying bomb facilities. On the 21st of May, the squadron's strafe targets near Lille, losing 2 pilots. F. Obrzeski and Sergeant Kempka were shot down and taken prisoner. Next day, Sergeant Bat Kofiak was also lost, though he evaded capture and returned to the unit 4 months later. On D-Day, 303 flew several times over the landing beaches. With the commencement of the V-1 offensive on London, on the 19th of June 1944, No. 303 moved to RAF Westhampnet and then to Merston. In June, F.S. Chudek was shot down and killed. After D-Day, the squadron remained with Fighter Command, briefly renamed Air Defence of Great Britain. On the 18th of July, the unit went back to Westhampnet and received new Spitfire MKIXs. Any Luftwaffe fighter opposition now remained largely absent from the squadron's sphere of operations, but flag defences still took a toll. On the 26th of September, S.L. Drobinski replaced S.L. Koch, and No. 303 continued using its Spitfires on various ground attack missions on V-1 and V-2 launch sites located in the Netherlands. In 1945, No. 303 Squadron moved to RAF Colterschall in East England for operations over the Netherlands. During 1945, No. 303 continued to operate over the Netherlands, and on the 3rd of April, the squadron joined No. 133 Polish Wing at Andreas Field, and was re-equipped with the North American Mustang Mk.IV. On the 25th of April 1945, No. 303 made its last wartime operational sortie, escorting Avro Lancasters on a raid on Berchtesgaden. Post-war, No. 303 Squadron was the most effective Polish RAF squadron during the Second World War. Some sources state that its pilots were invited to the London Victory Parade of 1946. The Daily Telegraph says that it was the only representative of the Polish armed forces in the West. The invitation was refused because no other Polish units were invited. However, according to other sources, No. 303 Squadron was not invited and so could not have refused the invitation. After the end of the war, squadron morale decreased due to the treatment of Poland by the Allies, and the squadron was eventually disbanded in December 1946. Squadron statistics. Enemy aircraft claimed. Locations: the 2nd of August 1940 RAF Northwold. The 11th of October 1940 RAF Leconfield. The 3rd of January 1941 RAF Northwold. The 17th of July 1941 RAF Spee. The 7th of October 1941 RAF Northwold. The 15th of June 1942 Curtin in Lindsay. The 16th of August 1942 RAF Red Hill. The 20th of August 1942 Curtin in Lindsay. The 1st of February 1943 RAF Northwold. The 5th of February 1943 RAF Heston. The 3rd of March 1943 RAF Debden. The 12th of March 1943 RAF Heston. The 26th of March 1943 Martlesham Heath. The 8th of April 1943 RAF Heston. The 1st of June 1943 RAF Northwold. The 12th of November 1943 Ballyhalbert. The 30th of April 1944 Horn. The 19th of June 1944 Westhampnet. The 27th of June 1944 Merston. The 9th of August 1944 Westhampnet. The 25th of August 1944 RAF Colterschall. The 4th of April 1945 Andreas Field. The 16th of May 1945 RAF Colterschall. The 9th of August 1945 Andreas Field. The 28th of November 1945 Turnhouse. The 4th of January 1946 Wick. The 31st of March 1946 Charter Hall. The 23rd of March 1946 RAF Ethel. Commanding Officers. The 19th of July 1940 Squadron LDR Ronald Kellett. The 2nd of August 1940 Squadron LDR Zdzislaw Krasnodubski. The 7th of September 1940 FO Witold Urbanowicz. The 22nd of October 1940 FO Zdzislaw Henneberg. The 7th of November 1940 Squadron LDR Adam Kowalczyk. The 20th of February 1941 Squadron LDR Zdzislaw Henneberg. The 13th of April 1941 FLT Tadeusz Arantowicz. The 5th of May 1941 Squadron LDR Wacław Lapkowski. The 3rd of July 1941 Squadron LDR Tadeusz Arantowicz. The 9th of July 1941 Squadron LDR Jerzy Jankowicz. The 21st of November 1941 Squadron LDR Wojciech Olachkowski. The 7th of May 1942 Squadron LDR Walerian Act. The 19th of May 1942 Squadron LDR Jan Zumbach. The 1st of December 1942 Squadron LDR Zygmunt Witimir Biankowski. The 4th of July 1943 Squadron LDR Jan Falkowski. The 21st of November 1943 Squadron LDR Tadeusz Koch. The 25th of September 1944 Squadron LDR Bolesław Drobinski. The 1st of February 1946 Squadron LDR Witold Lokusiewski. Pilots of 303. Squadron Leader RG Kellett DSODFC. Original CO of 303 Squadron during the Battle of Britain. Flight Lieutenant John A. Kent, P. Canadian Flight Commander during the battle. Sergeant Joseph František, Czech pilot flying with 303 Polish Squadron, was one of the top fighter pilots of the Battle of Britain, with 17 confirmed kills. Flying Officer Witold Urbanowicz, Polish commander of 303 Squadron from the 5th of September 1940, scored 15 kills during the Battle of Britain. Pilot Officer Jan Zumbach, commander of 303 Squadron from the 19th of May 1942, scored 8 kills during the Battle of Britain. Squadron aircraft. The 8th of August 1940 Hurricane I. The 22nd of January 1941 Spitfire I. The 3rd of March 1941 Spitfire II. The 20th of May 1941 Spitfire IIB. The 25th of August 1941 Spitfire I. The 7th of October 1941 Spitfire VB. The 1st of June 1943 Spitfire FIXC. The 12th of November 1943 Spitfire VB, Spitfire VC and Spitfire LFVB, Spitfire LFVC. The 18th of July 1944 Spitfire FIX, Spitfire LFIX and Spitfire HFIX. The 4th of April 1945 Mustang IV and Mustang Eva. Quotes, I cannot say how proud I'm to have been privileged to help form and lead No. 303 Squadron and later to lead such a magnificent fighting force as the Polish Wing. There formed within me in those days an admiration, respect and genuine affection for these really remarkable men which I have never lost. I formed friendships that are as firm as they were those 25 years ago, and this I find most gratifying. We who were privileged to fly and fight with them will never forget, and Britain must never forget how much she owes to the loyalty, indomitable spirit and sacrifice of those Polish flyers. They were our staunchest allies in our darkest days. May they always be remembered as such. Notable appearances in media. The squadron was the subject of the 1942 book No.303, written by the well-known Polish writer Arkady Fiedler, which is considered the most famous and popular among this writer's many works and has sold over 1.5 million copies. Because the book was published during the war, in order to protect the Polish airmen and the families remaining in occupied Poland from German reprisals, Fiedler used pseudonyms for the airmen of 303 Squadron. This practice was mandated in a memo regarding confidential information issued by the Air Ministry dated 14 October 1949. In connection with the 70th anniversary of the Battle of Britain in 2010, a new English translation was commissioned by publisher Aquila Polonica at the request of Fiedler's son. 303 Squadron. The legendary Battle of Britain Fighter Squadron is the first new English-language edition of DWIS-HON 303 since 1942, and for the first time in English identifies the pilots by their true names. In 2010, the squadron's involvement in the Battle of Britain was featured in the dramatized documentary The Polish Battle of Britain, produced by Hardy Pictures for the Channel 4 series Bloody Foreigners. Channel 4 also made a game called Battle of Britain 303 Squadron,